All right, welcome back. It's still Nas Watch right here. Now, this is actually the most interesting part of the show. Now, one thing I've always promised you on the show is that as much as possible, we will try to speak to your representatives. And of course, you definitely have the opportunity to ask questions, but via our social media platforms. So this very week, we did have the opportunity. We stumbled while at the National Assembly. We had the opportunity to talk to Honorable Ogah, and of course, talking about Honorable Chinedu Ogah, representing Ikwo Ezza South of Ebonyi State. And of course, you should know that this is his second term as a member representing this particular constituency. You should also know that between 2023 and 2024, he had, 80% awaiting second reading of, comes to his bills and progress. And of course, about 20% were awaiting consideration. Now, one of his major sectors is on health, security, education, environmental protection, agriculture, and he's also a big concern about law and order. Now, we sat down with him to have a conversation. We talked about state of the nation, talked about what he's doing for his people. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that you have the opportunity to, counter your representative. If he says that this is what I'm doing for you, and you are watching us and you believe that he's not telling you the full story, I mean, you can always reach us on our social media platform and say, hey, Cynthia, Naswatch, my representative is not doing all the things that he said he's doing. So enjoy this conversation that I did have with Honorable Ogah, which is, of course, the second-term member of the House of Representatives in the 10th National Assembly. And, of course, he is representing the Ezza South Ikwo Federal Constituency of Ebonyi State.
Yeah. All right. Let's first of all start with you as a person. I mean, this is your second time. What is that thing that propelled you to want to represent your people again?
My name is Right Honorable Comrade Chinedu Ogah, and I represent Ikwo and Ezza Federal Constituency. I'm from Ebonyi State. I contested the election in 2019 under the platform of APC and won. But due to the power bid then, could not allow me to be declared winner. And it was manipulated. With the motivation of the masses, we took the matter to court from the tribunal. My case was a kind of a ringing point to the extent that they changed judges into 5 times. To the extent that when the man I say God sent stand firm to do what is just and did all the proceeding and declared me winner in that 2019 tribunal. And then my predecessor took the matter to appeal. The appeal stand firm and do what is just. Then it was the presiding judge, the present Judge Court of Appeal, Justice Monica, was a presiding judge then in Enugu, and Justice Agupe, and one other judges from Hausa land, all of them. And God made it possible. I was affirmed as an elected member of National Assembly on December 1st, 2019. So I proceeded to National Assembly for my documentation, and I was sworn in on November 19, 2019 by then the Speaker, Federal House of Rep, presently now the Chief of Staff to the President, Benjamin Amila. Before I could come, so many things have taken, say, because my predecessor have spent almost 7 months. I took the bull by the horn because I already articulated what I'm here for, because I'm elected by the masses. I'm not here as my personal individual. I was able to look in so many sectors. I look into health, I look into education, I look into rural dwellers. I look to elevating the sufferings of my electorate. Because then when you go to the record, it is only the constituency, only the local government in Southeast where President Mohamed Buhari won the election. That is my constituency. That shows you the gravity of love that the masses have in me. And from then we proceeded. I sponsored so many bills in that night assembly, almost about 9 bills, almost about 15 motions, almost about 10 petitions. And within a moment, I was appointed as deputy chairman on poverty alleviation. Then in that night assembly, I attracted road construction to my constituency, almost about 6 kilometers road completed. I attracted some civic centers. I attracted almost about 10 3 classrooms built in each of the schools. And I gave a work to my constituents, the graduates and non-graduates, both OND, NC, and SSC, and then it was amount to 822 people in different federal agencies. They are there to testify. In police, in SSS, in army, in civil defense, in civil service, in teaching hospital, and so many places. And so many of them are doing perfectly well. This is the people their hope would have been dashed away, if not that I became honorable member of the House of Reps. And there are so many other amenities. The good bonding with my colleagues, with the leadership and other people have already catapulted me by making sure a lot of things being attracted to my constituency. And that is it. We move ahead. God continue working. In 2023, I did not contest with anybody. I went on opposing my party APC. Then we already have a state governor, Engineer Devuma, presently the Minister of Works. He came into APC then, and I became a leader of APC. And when you see my performance, all of them joined that yes, I should go back as a House of Rep. Then our present governor was a speaker, and everything worked well. It was only during the general election that someone contested under Labour Party, the other person contested under Ogah, the other person contested under PDP. But I had 39,325 votes. I guess the highest person that had 10,000 votes. And I won. And he took me to court. But it's unfortunate that the case lacked merit. He was thrown off. He did not even reach the preliminary submission in a tribunal. So that is where we are today. And as it stands, I have so many projects ongoing, 6 classroom projects completed. And I can stand here to say, the only National Assembly that in my community, we are not using NEPA, we are using solar powered grid, 247 light.
This can be verified?
Go there and verify it. I'm not telling you things that is why what you're supposed to do is an investigative journalist. You would have gone to the constituency, meet the constituencies, find out, go to them one after the other. I have 31 wards. I have 300 and something polling units. Go to individual of those polling units and make your inquiry. I've shared 325 motorcycles. I've shared 10 vehicles. I've shared Keke Napep, 110. It's verifiable. Go there and find out. So the extent of it is that it's not because that those things are the thing. It is a good relationship with the people that matters. I go to them to seek for an assistant. And they oblige because they see that I don't have selfish interest. I built a civic center in Ezza South, and with the road leading to there with solar power, with solar system in that hall, furnished with equipment. I did there the same thing in Ikwo local government, 3,000 capacity. The one of Ezza South, 1,500 capacity. I have done in my community. I have built health centers, furnished, equipped in so many of the communities. So things that we have done, the 2-kilometer road from the local government leading to Nebonyechara, we have done almost 80%. As I speak to you now, we are constructing 15-kilometer road leading from Enyinguchiri, Ibudu, Inyimago, down to Ogah. I have graded a road almost about 50-kilometer road, rural farm road. I've connected some hinterland where our farmers can access by bringing their farm input.
Okay, I will pause you there a bit. I know you have a lot of things that you want to say regarding to the things that you've done for your people, but I want us to speak segment by segment. Now that you've mentioned agricultural activity that you've participated, because I know that when it comes to the economy of your constituency, we have agriculture, we have commerce, and then we have small scale industries. As the representative of these people, I think we'll first of all start with what you've done in the area of agriculture. And okay, so it's one thing to say, okay, I have done this for my people. It's another thing to ask yourself, what I'm doing for my people, is it the core of what they want? So we're going to start with agriculture, and then we move to commerce, and then we now talk about small scale industry.
Yes, when you talk of agriculture, I came from a farm agrarian area. I'm a farmer. I own what is called Chiboy Farm. And for that, I know the problem of my people.
Are you still farming today?
Yes. Okay. As I speak to you this year alone, my rice farm is almost about 120 hectares. Yeah. So it's not me to decide what my people need. It is the people meet me to say this is what we need. Since I became honorable member, in every second July, I distribute no less than 10,000 bags of fertilizer to the farmers with some seed. And I always distribute this thing in time. I always distribute the seed in March so that they will plant the rice seed. And by 2nd July, I distribute fertilizer free of charge in agriculture. And some of them, I give them grant to enable them to get people that will help them to do that farming work. And that's what have helped us in boosting our agricultural system in our constituency. And such a thing have already augmented what our governor is doing, because he's doing much in agriculture, and we have complemented that effort. That have yielded a lot, that the Bakaleke rice you see are majorly from my constituency. That is aspect of agriculture. You talk of commerce. I introduce what I call the contact to the rural farmers. Because if you do not introduce these people into the commerce, by most of those our rural dwellers that have some trades in their rural villages, in the playground, first of all, I put solar street light in all those markets for them so that they can trade. They can extend their trade to almost about 10 or 11 in the night, because they do that trade every blessed day. And I was able to give some money to most of those women. And I have done a research, the most industrial people we ever talk of are women. Yes, you can give a woman a 50,000 naira. You imagine before December, such a woman have already grown that money to almost 1 million. They will be focused, they will be articulate, unlike women that you give a man 500. From there, he will take 100,000 to his girlfriend. He will take the other one to a beer parlor to share with his friends. But women always focus. They duplicate whatever given to them to help. That is why what I do, I constitute what is called checkmate, to make sure that most of those things given to them are properly utilized. And I partner with one NGO called AMOT. This NGO gives intensive to the rural farmers in their commerce, and equally do boreholes. So in that aspect of the commerce, we have done so much, and that is where your things will bring in this motorcycle, engaging those youth to now bring out those farm, those things they cultivate, they can bring it to the market, not just where they can just sell it off. And such a thing have boosted our commerce and have boosted our rural dwellers in there, generating their own incomes.
I think I want you to expatiate more when you say that the women are more industrious, because there are both men and women in your constituency. And so if you're doing something for the women, what are you doing for the men? I mean, don't forget that these women also come from families and they have husbands. And so if the men are not provided or some form of empowerment like you did for the women, how will they be able to
No,
sustain?
the truth of it is that out of the empowerment, I do 50-50 empowerment.
So what do you do for the men?
The same thing, like the motorcycle I shared, men get almost about 70%, women got 30%. But for my statistics analysis, that women are more utilizing what is meant for. I've given out money. I've given out 100,000 to women for a business.
Okay.
And they gave out 500,000 to men. I was able to see a productivity in women than most of these men. Women is hardly before you see women drink. That is to be very frank. They always focus on that, what that money is made for. But women can be deceived for immediate gain. They can now leave what that priority of that business made for. Someone can come to tell him cryptocurrency, you do it, you get this money. They will put that money, the money will be lost. But a woman is very hard before you see a woman, you drive her mind out of that thing the money is made for. So it's all about us. We now going, we have constituted orientation, bringing academician, giving an orientation to our youth that they should be focused, they should learn work, and most of our men doing well, those that are into some skills, which have helped in giving them equipment, buying them sewing machine, getting them some equipment that will help them to stand firm. Such people who have done that are focused. But when you come to trade, we have now introduced that before we give anybody money, such person must learn that trade. When he learned that trade, that apprentice, it became institute where you learn how to manage such fund. But when you take money and give it to who that not learn appropriately how to channel the fund, it will waste it.
Okay, you did talk about a couple of things earlier, talking about working with an NGO. This NGO, is it your NGO? Is it your foundation?
No, I have my own foundation. And this foundation, the one I'm talking of is a different foundation. You know, I don't have time as honorable member.
Yes.
If I give them money and give them a target to make sure, we did what is called fund match. I brought 90%, they brought 10%. They did 31 borehole. And they brought 10 people, 5 women, 5 men, trained them on the maintenance of that borehole in each of the ward of my electoral ward. That borehole we are sunk. Instead of us bringing an outsider to maintain that borehole, they are able to train that community people in that place to take the whole ownership of that job. That is where the foundation come in, which me will not have time to do
that. Yes.
They are able to do that and supervise it, and it's working.
Let's not talk about the house, which is your, like they'll call it, place of primary assignment, right?
Yeah.
What are those things, those feedbacks you're getting from your people, because you're representing them in the house? Bills are being discussed. What would you say is your most passionate bill that you know that this one really, really represents your people's interest?
Okay, yes. In aspect of my performance in National Assembly in about a bill, I've done a bill of establishment of Federal Medical Center, Amago. The extent why I bring that bill, it was passed and it was concurred by the Senate and taken to then our president, but he could not ascend before he exited power. I brought it up again. The extent of it is that it's only Ebonyi State that you don't have Federal Medical Center. The former Federal Medical Center is being transferred to Ikwo Federal Teaching Hospital. And I see it is very necessary. If we're able to get medical hospital in the rural areas, it will help to reduce the maternal mortality. It will help to care for the health system of my constituents, which I know my people like it. I've done a bill for establishment of Ikwo Federal University. Yes, then the president, Goodluck Jonathan, established the university. But the university have no law. They cannot access any grant. And that university is my constituency. And I have done a bill, it has been concurred by the Senate, waiting for transmitting for presidential assent. The university is already existing. But when that law passed, it will help them to access grant, it will help them to be known in the world, then already an act. I've sponsored a bill for establishment of Ikwo Federal Teaching Hospital. That Federal Teaching Hospital is where they had emergence of Federal Medical Center. And there is no law establishing it. And there is so many grants they are missing as a teaching hospital, because every Western world that are coming to partner with them must ask, where is the act establishing this university? And such a thing is, that one I've already been passed and transmitted for Senate for concurrent. And I have done a bill for establishment of a hypertension and diabetes center. We find out that most of these rural farmers, doesn't have a checkup of what their problem. So if such a center is being established and focus on diabetes and hypertension, it will really help in making sure people have a check of their health statics, and that will help them to stabilize. And such a thing will bring a very good achievement to my constituency. I'm already doing a bill, establishment of rice processing institute. The extent of it is that in my community, as I said, there was establishment of World Bank rice processing farm in my place in 1969, where you have a dam irrigation farm, Old Anambra State. So if we revitalize that, with almost about 20,000 hectares of rice farm we have in my own community alone, if such a thing, it will help in producing a very good rice product that will help in the seed that will now be productive, the one that will really translate and give a good yield. So such a thing will help, and it will boost the economy of this country. We will not depend on any oil. There are so many other bills. Is it emotion? Is it motion? I've done a motioning with so many people that were sacked in military, we are sacked in police, we are all restricted because they are wrongly displaced. And I brought it up here as a motion. The Committee on Public Petition looked into it, and such people were restricted. And equally, in a committee, I've done a bill as a chairman of reformatory institution. First time that I was able to introduce open university in the correction service in the country. One.
What gave rise to that?
Yeah.
Why did you think of that?
Then what I think to that is that we talked of correction. How do we correct those inmates? Those we assume that are committed that offense. We only reform them when we channel the attitude out of crime. Some of them can be educated by being an inmate, and when they became educated, they will be useful to the society. Some of them can have the skills. That is why you see me making every effort for us to revitalize our farm settlement, in which those farms can produce a food, in which they will use in all those correction centers. Abakaliki have established. My own personal foundation came up to build the block where they took off. And I have to appreciate the Vice Chancellor of Open University. The university have taken off. And he now give them free education in those. The one in so many places, in Lagos, in so many places have taken off. And that is things will help to reduce crime. There is no any dog person who ever indulge into crime. It's only the first class material that always indulge into crime. Because, yes, they need to think on how to manipulate, like you talk of Yahoo. Non-intelligent, it's only intelligent people who know how to manipulate. So what we need to do, let's channel the resources of that intelligence to be useful, that will now give a good yield to the Nigerian economy. That is what we have done.
But when it comes to the issue of Yahoo that you mentioned, don't you think it's because of people are wanting to get rich, or they don't have the kind of job that you're looking for to keep them busy?
Our major problem is that we have deviated from our culture.
What's that?
Our parents are not doing the rightful things. A situation by a parent will encourage a young boy to wear earring. A situation by which a parent will encourage his son to plant his hair. That is not Nigerian culture.
But how does that relate with people who are...
He relates because when he allowed that thing have encouraged him to go. He now decided to pick up. That is the thing that made him. If a parent advised the child to do what is right, he cannot indulge into those things.
Honorable, don't you think that it's quite offensive to some persons when you say that you're plaiting your hair or wearing earrings as a man automatically means that you're into...
Listen, that is our problem. We are now borrowing Western culture. That is not our Nigerian culture. If you are in university, you do what is called Nigerian people's and culture. Culture is what people do. You are from Cross River. Is it the culture of the Boki people? Did their father plant their hair? We have deviated from it. And that is why we see the situation by which we are going out now. Thank God for what Mr. President have done, taking us back to what the creativity in the schools. I could remember when I was in a primary school, every Wednesday we call it handwork day. We do creativity, broom, basket, and so many things.
Yeah.
But those things have gone out of that. Thank God they now bring it out in a digitalized form way, in robotic, in creativity, in our farming. So those things will help to reshape the life of our youth.
Now, do you see the implications of what you just said? Because, I mean, a lot of young people have complained on our streets, especially when they drive, and they complain that the security operatives, get to stop them because they're plaiting their hair, and they begin to give them a term. So are you trying to say
listen
that
to me?
They are
that is why I want to tell you, if you watch most of the people you see that have committed a crime that are arrested by police, army, SSS,
they are not with plaited hair.
No.
They're not with earrings.
No. Greater number of them are finding that. And what they do now, police have the power to stop and search. It is along the line they find anything incriminating. That is the time they can place you on arrest.
Do the police actually have the power to do stop and search?
They have the power, constitutional power. Because one, if there is a sign of a crime committed in a place, police can put up a watch in that place. Even me as a National Assembly member, even in Abuja here when I'm passing, they will now stop me, run their light. If there is anything suspicious, they say, come down. You come down. They check. They will allow you to go. It is only when they find out something that is incriminating, that is the time you see the police placing you on arrest or another check.
Does the police also have the right to look through a person's phone?
Those things are mercy. If now police are doing investigation, like somebody that did a cyberbullying or cyber stalking, or someone that now did OPT but obtaining by false pretense, and such thing we are transacting in his phone, police have the right to investigate the phone.
Okay, so because you also said that police have the right to do stop and search, so which also means that in the process of searching, they're also going to look through your phone.
That is a different. If a crime is committed, and they have an information that so person is among the people that committed the crime, and we are asking you his phone, so thing are there, they have the right to check.
So you are saying that it is very okay for a policeman to just see a young man.
What you are no. You are putting it a different way. Seeing a young man searching a phone is a different thing than when a crime is established.
No, I'm talking about just get the question. So you're saying that it is very okay for a police to see a young man with his plaited hair and earrings to search.
Police, I'm a lawmaker.
Okay.
Most of these laws are done by us. For a police to search somebody's phone is when a crime is being established.
Okay.
As an investigation, it's the act of investigating. But not that you're moving the sea on the way. You drive. Have a police just see you and ask you of your phone?
Oh, sometimes they do.
No. They don't. Let's leave that matter. So the extent of it is that I'm urging Nigeria youth. I want a youth leader. Let us be creative. Nigeria is a very good place. If you watch out one Nigerian youth are passing out, when most of them that travel out of there, you find out that Nigeria is a very good place for us to establish. Let me use a case study about you. You develop now as a journalist. You see a good, perfect work you are doing. Now you have trained this young man that is doing this videoing. Most of the people can be trained on these skills. By training them on these skills, you have now placing food in their table. For them being busy, they can never think of going to crime. That is what we need. But our greatest problem, everybody depends everything on government. And we have found out that when we get to the America, 90% of the people that are working in private businesses, private industry, not on government. What we are asking is that let we that in the government should have a conscience and do what is right by bringing the dividends of democracy to our people. We should not be selfish. Let us look at the road. Let us look at things that we know that are useful, that can attract a good thing to our people, not because of our selfish interest. That's why the government need to do things.
So I'll just wrap up by asking you this question. You made a very vital point, and you say let those who are empowered do what they're supposed to do. Do you think, from where you stand, honestly, now honorable, do you think that those in power right now are delivering the dividends of democracy to its people?
For me, like my governor is doing so perfectly well in all ramification. The first governor in the whole country, as I speak to you, 1,000 people as a scholarship, 300 in UK now for masters and PhD. The governor, as I speak to you, each of the secondary school in Ebonyi is building 22 classrooms. The governor, as I speak to you, the health center is constructing each of the electoral ward with a solar panel, giving access to the rural dwellers so that there will be reducing of population in secondary health system. As I am, I have almost about 350 people in my scholarship scheme. 200 of them are in secondary school, full funded. This is a child of nobody. These are people tomorrow, we should not call them a banditry or kidnappers, because we're able to give them hope. They will translate and help others. So the major issue is that Nigerians should look inward. We should not elect executive offices in a hotel. Let's allow the masses to choose the leadership. There is no any leader elected by the people that they will ever block not to come home. But if you have been elected, or those people they are catapulted from US and given appointment, I don't know what people are feeling. That is our major issue. They're only concerned about themselves. For example, now, I said, let us give President time. He's doing perfectly well. Irrespective that there is a hunger. But we should check. Where we used to go, China, India, Vietnam, you see every family have a product. Why can't we start to establish? I challenge the most big men in the country. They are not doing well. Why can't we develop our country by establishing those businesses here, engage all this youth? Some of them will go to Germany, buy land, buy houses there, and will pay tax that is not beneficial to the Nigerian economy.
Honorable, I know we're supposed to be wrapping up, but I just made some very important points, which I would also want you to respond to that. You talked about we coming back home to do business and making sure that everything is working out fine, develop ourselves. But have you really looked at the ease of doing business in Nigeria? In the last couple of years, we've had so many small businesses close up just because the factors of production and the ease of doing business is highly intensive. What would you say? Would you actually still say that the government is trying?
Let me tell you, the truth of it is that everything about life is about risk. Even when you get a food, you cook that food and you want to eat that food, along the way, sometimes the food will fail down, you continue to catch it. That is what everything is all about. Even the Western world where you are running to. I have a private, something I do, where I engage almost about 1,500 employees. Let us look inward. There is a lot of things. And the aspect I'm asking government, let them look the way they can help the private business owners. By helping them, giving them grant to establish those businesses. There is those that are willing. But because of all these things you are saying, making them to run away.
But is it about the grant? Isn't it about making sure that doing business in Nigeria is as convenient as possible?
That is the aspect I'm saying. That the government will do theirs, the private individual will do theirs. Watch out. You see the temptation that comes in a Dangote refinery. But because it's made and in Nigeria, he continued to stand firm. You see the drop of oil going down. Then it was high. If Dangote now feel because he's being intimidated by a group of people and run away, will continue to suffer. You have seen establishment, Boa is doing his own refinery. So many others. At the end now you see oil will be an open market, unlike GSM.
We can't wait for that time.
There is a time that our card will almost about 500,000 to buy one SIM card. But now you can just go there, will give you SIM card free. That is the way. So I'm urging us, while I'm saying us, I'm a parliamentarian, I'm a part of the government, let us look the face of those we are leading. We know definitely we must have a huddle. We know definitely we must have a people that don't want us. We know definitely there's a people that want you to marry for them. Give them bed, give them house, everything, you must do it. But justify your conscience whatever you do. Whenever you justify your conscience, remember you are elected by the people and be focused. Nigeria is our country. We'll definitely get there. We are blessed in all ramifications, in all social amenities, in everything. And people like you should now be encouraged to have a small training places of training people on this professionalism. Not all the social media journalism you have now that will now fabricate a story without verifying what it's all about. That is against the Act of National Assembly. So when such a thing is done, you will see Nigeria being reshaped. We're a giant of Africa. If we're able to be focused, we really get it. You are from Buki. Most of the banana and plantain we are eating here is from your place. What effort are we doing to encourage those rural farmers in those places?
Yeah, the governor is trying.
That is, I know. He's my friend. He's doing well. But we need more encouragement. We talk of effort. Federal government agriculture or something. They should champion on that. Most of all this ground we talk feeding of the students. I don't see it as something working. They should be able to tell Mr. President the truth. Which students are you feeding? Where are they? when most of them are not staying in the classroom, you say you're feeding them. People are now using that money of themselves. They only bring paper to present to the government.
But have you guys at the house challenged it?
Definitely. You know me, I'm a vocal person. When the budget came up and I see the North Central, the Northeast, and some of the zone, we are skipping, including the Southeast, we are skipping light red. I raised it up and told Mr. Speaker, we cannot pass this budget. And so many members echoed it. At the end, we see the light. Today, Mr. President have approved a fund for all those zones for the light red. So it's not about me.
Thank you.
I represent the people.
Thank you very much, Honorable. We've had a very great conversation. I think that before I go, I would want to beg you for one thing. The people are complaining regarding to the numbers that was released regarding to the number of people that they've given out some money to, like funds,
Which
right,
fund?
to alleviate distress by the federal government. And people are asking, who are the Nigerians that this money was given to?
For me, I don't know.
Maybe you can bring that up.
I don't know. As a parliamentarian, I don't know. Now I have heard. By next week, I'll bring it up on the floor of the House. Let the Speaker, we should constitute a committee to investigate. Let's find out those the beneficiaries.
Exactly.
Because Mr. President have a very good intention. But so many people are frustrating that effort. How can a fund be released? We don't know the people that have been released for. This is a very good thing that will help this country. But the people, that is why I told you, there is a people that are wicked, that don't want the Renew Hope agenda to manifest.
So if you need more information on that, we can definitely provide
Please, definitely, I need it, so that I will bring it up.
You could bring it up for us.
Thank
Thank
you
you very much, Honorable
Thank you.
Chinedu. It has been so amazing speaking to you. We now go back to the studio.
All right, welcome back. That is a conversation that we did have with Honorable Chinedu Ogah, member at the 10th Senate, 10th House of House, representing Ikwo and Ezza South of Ebonyi State. Now, that was actually a great conversation, unfortunately, but don't worry. On Sunday, the show will come, a repeat of the show will come to you. So in case you missed any part of it, you have a chance to watch that again. And don't forget, like we always tell you, that if you have anything to debunk, you have anything to say regarding to your representative, you can always go to our social media platform on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. We're out there for you to say, okay, hey, Cynthia, I watched the conversation with our representative, and I don't think that everything he's saying is correct. Don't worry. A fresh episode will come to you next Friday with another member representing. You never can tell who I'm going to be coming with. My name is Cynthia Agba. Thank you so much for staying with Rapid Television on NAS Watch. I will see you next Friday. The news comes up at 8 o'clock.